Okay, folks, let's get started with our video on Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, the settings. If you notice down here, I'm over here on the lower left-hand side using the video. So let's talk about those settings. Now, this in the center is called the center panel. This is where all your activity happens with your students. So that's good to know. Another thing I'd like to point out to you is at the bottom. So at the bottom, this is an awareness of who all's in the class. Here is my audio. Now I'm using my audio in another program to record this, but here I clicked on the audio. So that would be good. You may have to go through a little setup process when you do it the first time. That is no big deal. This is the video. And we like video, and I want to encourage you to use your video. You may be a little shy, and that's understandable, but that is very, very important in communicating and connecting with your students. And then you could raise your hand. Obviously, the teacher's not going to raise their hand a lot, but if you're a student, you could raise your hand. So this is the center panel. And your adjustments at the bottom. The next thing I want to talk about is what I call the left quick controls. So that's this guy right here. You click on this and you could enlarge your screen. Okay, that's exciting. You could make your screen smaller. You could do a best fit, and you could do a one-on-one. So those are some controls you may want to be aware of. You could click that item again to decompress or collapse those controls. So anyway, that is called the left quick controls. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to go and talk about the top draw tool. So this is up here at the top. And for the first guy, we have just a pointer. You could select things and move things around, okay? We have the hand pointer. I don't know if I'm that excited about this, but I don't know if we could change the size of that. But, I mean, it does work. It points to what you're talking about. Then we have the pencil tool, which is my personal favorite here. So let's see, how should I, let me try to explain this. So what I have is I have a little pad. It's called the Intuo pad. It's a Wacom tablet. And then that's my pen. That's not it. Then I have my digital pen, and that's where I do a lot of my drawing on, okay? So I hope that if you do a lot of math tutoring or something like that, that would be helpful. Thought you might like that. Okay, so there's my pencil, and then over here to the right I have some colors. Now you may wonder why you have white. Okay. All right, so you could kind of use it to erase part if you needed to. But there you go, there are your colors. I would use them all, and that's good. And then like I showed you before in the previous video, you have your rectangles, the ellipse. Now I think there's a way to fill that in. I'll have to figure out how to do that. But there you have some drawing tools. Don't forget your line tool. You're going to use that a lot. Okay. And then the next, let's go to the next tool here. This is a text tool. Hello, class. Okay, I think you can, that's not right. You can take your pointer and move that around on the screen. Okay, there you go. You can make that large. Isn't that exciting? All right, so that's your text tool. And then what's going to be your favorite tool is the erase tool. This right now clears everything. So it cleared everything. Again, those are tools you're going to use a lot, especially the pencil, maybe the pointer, and the erase tool. I call them the top draw tools. Okay, Now, there's two other panels that you really need to know about, and let's do them right now. What I call the left session menu. So over here, you could start recording a session. You could use your phone for audio, report an issue, get some help, and then learn about the new Collaborate interface. All of those are great things. I hope that you enjoy looking at them and learning something as you go through there. Okay, don't forget what we're going to do is we're going to click on that to collapse that menu. Again, that is called the left session menu. All right, one more item over here on the right side, down at the bottom. Okay. This is where a lot of the controls in the previous version are found, and it takes a little time to figure this out. So let me give you a quick overview. Number one, okay, to share a blank whiteboard, we're going to click that, and you have it right here to the left. You've seen that before in a previous video. Number two, you want to share an application. So I want to share an application. I'm trying to remember. Okay, there are a couple things to know about. It's working well in Chrome and Firefox. And so an example would be, I want to take my students on a tour of my homepage. I want to take my students on a tour of maybe a website or maybe something in the class I want to show. And instead of having to have a bunch of screenshots, you could just go into it right away. If you're teaching math, this is extremely powerful. You could take your online calculator and just show that calculator while you're doing some problem. And I have found that to be extremely powerful and helpful to students. All right, the next item here is called Share Files. So let me click on that. Now, in here, you could upload PowerPoint presentations. Like, for example, I'm going to upload a short series of PowerPoint lessons I used in a previous demonstration video. See, this is what you've done before, where you had to load your content, and we're pretty much almost good to go right now. All right, so there you go. All right, and I could share that. But let's just say I want to share this picture. Okay, I uploaded a picture, share now. Okay, I just messed up. So let's see, try that again. I want to picture, and I'm going to hit share now. And there you go. There's a picture that I showed you when we started. So that's great. All right, I'm going to go back to the whiteboard. Okay. So share files is a big part. Polling. This is a new feature of Ultra that makes it easy to do polls with the class. And I think that will be a neat thing. Perhaps we can do a video on it or link to another video that somebody else did. And another feature that I want to point out to you before we go is this idea of breaking the class into groups. Some of you are interested in exploring group projects, but you could do this all kinds of ways. And this feature of the Ultra version of Blackboard Collaborate makes it easy to do. You identify your students, you put them in the group, and then they're just seeing each other, okay, and they're working with each other. I think that has potential. It certainly would be good to experiment with. All right. So that is the essential of the share content on the right. Okay, the secondary content, and then the interact. The first thing I want to do at the bottom is you have a chat window here. You could say hello to the class. Okay, so I am in here as a moderator. Okay. Another thing you could do is you could see who all the members are. So this is this participant window. You may remember that. Okay, this one is about sharing the content that I just went through. That's how you get to that. And then the last gear here is more of your setup. Now, you have some options here where you could reset up your sound and your video. I will have to say this is better than the previous versions, which is a good thing. Again, so here's some other items here at the bottom. All right, if you notice on the right-hand side, you can just X out of that. So there you go. There, my friends, is Blackboard Collaborate center panel, left sides, right sides, down information, everything right at your fingertips for you to know how to adjust your settings and work with your students. I do hope you enjoyed that video, and I'm gonna make that a check mark. Like we did a good job on that. Best wishes.